Up next, the 9200 modified tractors. Stay tuned.
Doc Riley for Power Pack Motorsports, and this afternoon the 9,200-pound modified class. 11 pullers will try to full pull this afternoon. This is a Great Plains National event. It's part of the Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit. The first puller in the 9,200 modified class will be Steve Jaske and Miller High Life. Steve Jaske and a Miller High Life Special. 5 Arius alcohol engines right here, backing her up. Of course, Jaske out of the Jaske family. He finished 3rd last year in the final points of the Grand National Pulling Circuit, and right now is in the thick of things for the National Championship as he hooks up to the thumb.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your ears, hold on to your hands.
Steve Jaske gets the green flag from Stan Martin. We are ready to roll. Miller High Life Pulling. Steve Jaske. What a ride right there. Miller High Life got that front end up and looked real good doing it. Miller High Life Special, Steve Jaske. Miller High Life and Steve Jaske, what a ride.
That was pretty fair. We could have been a little bit lighter on the front end. Had to hit the brake once going down that sideline. And that sideline's a little soft. It's going to take a good run to get by it, but it's definitely beatable.
Well, definitely looked like it may hold up pretty well because, as you said, you did kind of get close to the sideline. What about that? Is there any way you can kind of correct that as you're coming down the course?
Well, it's kind of, you go by way your tractor, and my tractor usually hooks to the left, so we kind of counteract that. This time it just went a little bit right, just a hair. I don't know if because the track's a little soft on that side or whatever, but I'm pleased with the run. We made a good run. Everything's still running after the pull. That's what's important.
David Banter, bring that Mr. Chevy tractor up to the starting line, folks. Take a look at it.
Now the pride of the Banner Brothers pulling team. David Banter out of LaFontaine, Indiana. He'll have 2 rigs in this particular modified class. This is the first one. It's called Mr. Chevy. Dave Banter running 6 Chevy big blocks in there. As he hooks up to the thumb, he goes a little bit to the right side. As we're looking down the track, it actually be to his left. Gets her hooked back up. Stan Martin, our NTPA official, our head flag man, and at the finish line, hits Jim Dorr. The men that put this pull on right here, and the guys that are in charge on the track. But once the green flag flies, David Banter will be in charge of his destiny, looking at 285 and 4, cranking up those big Chevy big blocks, and he is ready to go. Here he goes, David Banter. David Banter with the tough one coming out of the blocks. Kind of had to goose her again, and as they got to about the 250 mark, it seemed like the tractor just kind of bogged down a little bit, but a very respectable distance for Banter Brothers and Mr. Chevy. Well, Dave Banter, looks like you took a little bit of a different course coming across the track. Tell us about your flight plan.
Well, I tried to cross the track and try to get a hook, keep hooked into it, and it's just hard there in the middle. Boy, it's just slick. When you hit that hard spot, you just lose your traction. It's a pretty hard track.
Tell us a little bit about Mr. Chevy.
Well, it's just 6 blown Chevys running on alcohol, you know, about 1,200 horsepower apiece, and good running motors. You just can't beat a Chevrolet.
That pull will put David Banter in second place right now with a mark of 259 feet and 2 inches. Good enough for second spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott Peter out of Marion, Indiana, and this is the tractor called Mr. Twister.
Next up will be Mr. Twister, Scott Tenner out of Marion, Indiana. 5 Chevrolet 427 cubic inch engines. Alcohol powered. Scott Tenner out of Marion, Indiana. Mr. Twister, the name of this tractor. Scott with 5 years of NTPA pulling experience. He's a good one, and of course, his father Jack with 14 years experience can kind of lend a hand a little bit here with some advice as we sit here in our modified class. Scott Tenner gets the green flag, and he is off, giving it the spin right here. Mr. Twister going to pull across the Nebraska flag. And Mr. Twister
Now, Mike Holden operates the Dusty Diamond just a little bit different.
Well, up next out of Marietta, Ohio, the Dusty Diamond. Mike Holden, the man that's getting a ride here today. Dusty Diamond pulling team. They race Allisons. The Allison aircraft engine used in a P-51 Mustang back in World War II, and they have got such a sweet sound to them. He's got 4 Allisons mounted up there. Marietta, Ohio, the home of this young man. Second place, David Banter set the mark at 259 feet 2 inches. Steve Jaske is the leader in the Miller High Life rig with a distance of 285 feet and 4 inches. The Dusty Diamond and Mike Holden going to take a little bit different trip here as they go to the left side. Actually, his right side on the track, and he's ready to go. Dusty Diamond and Mike Holden, Allison Powers. Not going to be close enough to take the lead, but a respectable run. Mike Holden and Dusty Diamond, and you look like you kind of hugged the sideline over there, looking for the line down here.
Yeah, we thought maybe that was the only shot we had, and we gave her all she had, and looked like we hit the balance pretty close, and the track was hard. I could smell rubber on this one tire. We just went for all we could get.
Is there any sweeter sound in the world than an Allison engine?
Not to me.
4 turbines here, 12,000 horsepower. This is the General Stage 4. Gardner Stone came close to a Grand National title in '87, taking second place. This year, he might just take it all. As we see, lines are up on the track towards the opposite sideline, towards the right side.
Watch now as the General flash with all the gold stars.
Gardner Stone, the General out of Middlebury, Vermont, is ready and cleared for takeoff as he competes in the Great Plains National right here in Hildreth, Nebraska. Look, that front end raise up. He's on his way. Oh, yes, indeed. The General has done it again. Stage 4, the General goes out the gate here in Hildreth, Nebraska. It's a full pull. The General, Stage 4, has done it. Full pull right out the gate. And Gardner Stone, you've done it again. The General seems to be in fine order.
Seems to be working real well, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the ride down here. We seem to be having a problem with the track getting a little bit sloppy in some parts, but what about the track conditions here at Hildreth?
The track on the starting line, I started on the upper side, and that hasn't been run at all. And so I was in good tracks to get going. Halfway down the tracks, I couldn't see where I was going. The dirt was flying so bad. I had my hands full with brakes and trying to keep this thing under control and get it out the end. At about 250 feet, there's some wicked hard spots, and that's when you bust your tires loose.
Of course, Mr. Chevy, he piloted earlier here in this class. Now he comes back to be atop the Bandit. David Banter, a real legend in the NTPA, is always very consistent on the Grand National Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit. He's going to hook up over there. I think Gardner Stone may have started something. Going to that side of the track. And of course, find a little bit of dirt there, get into that good clay, and away you go. But as Gardner Stone mentioned, at about 250 it's a little soft, and about 152 there's the soft spot. So we'll see what happens here with David Banter as he's got his eyes set on a full pull. Experience and engineering right here, Banter Brothers. Here we go, David Banter. 272 feet and 8 inches, which is good enough for third right now. Running in second, Steve Jaske, 285 and 4. And the leader is Gardner Stone. This is the Texas Funny Farmer out of Gainesville, Texas. 5 Rodix right here for Don Fenley. Don's a long way from home, but every time he goes to a Grand National event, Gainesville, Texas is about the farthest spot in the United States away from him. He's got 16 years pulling experience, and he really enjoys the sport of tractor pulling. Gets her hooked up, and he's not going to go to the sideline. He's going to take her up a little bit closer to the left side. See if he can get the good bite, the good traction, and the Texas Funny Farmer is going for road. Texas Funny Farmer, right close to a full pull. David Walsh is up next to challenge Gardner Stone, who's got a full pull. And of course, that's what's going to have to do to get first place, is take on the general stage 4. David Walsh with a good line down the track. Looks like he's going to have it. He is full pull. He will challenge Gardner Stone in a pull-off for the top spot here in the 9,200-pound modified class. What about the track conditions?
It's kind of hard down here. First 200 feet's all right, but this last 50 feet, it's hard. Your tires are coming out of the ground.
Well, the Irish General takes on, or the Irish Challenger takes on the General. We'll see what happens. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, the Irish Challenger now will take on the General Stage 4 in a pull-off. 11 of them went the distance. 2 of them come back in a pull-off.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with the pull-off at Hildreth, Nebraska.
Well, we start the pull-off here in the 9,200 modified class. Gardner Stone will hitch up first, and David Walsh, the Irish Challenger, will go head-to-head here for the top honors at the Great Plains Grand National here in Hildreth, Nebraska. It's been an exceptional pull. The Hildreth Lions Club, who puts this pull on, has done a great job. And right now, it's going to get even better as Gardner Stone in the General Stage 4 gets set to go. Green flag is out for Gardner Stone. He's set to go, and he pulls away from the line, looking to win right here with this, the first pull. The General Stage 4 thunders down the track, hugging the sideline. It's Gardner Stone. There it is, in a cloud of dust right there. Gardner Stone with the first of 2 tractors going into pull-off. He hugs the sidelines, and he's like that spot. It's now up to David Walsh and the Irish Challenger to see who's going to take top honors. Well, the Irish Challenger forces a pull-off against the General here, and the mark you've set in this pull-off, 208 feet, 8 inches. And Gardner, as we're looking at right now, the Irish Challenger comes back. He was the last person to pull, forces the pull-off. Just get your comments on the run and the pull-off.
Well, he's got an excellent chance at this. We got into compressor stall, if you saw him, I think, backfiring on the track.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I think one of the bleed bands stuck open on me. He's got a good shot, but anything can happen. We don't know.
Dave Walsh moving up now. That's an Irish Challenger of 4.
The Irish Challenger and David Walsh set to go over 208 feet 8 inches, and to do that, he would beat Gardner Stone in the General here in our pull-off. Well, of course, it came down, and a lot of people said Gardner had it. Dave Walsh had some mechanical problems, dropped back, came back and goes full pull, and right now he lays it all on the line. The luck of the Irish is with him. Dave Walsh, out of the great state of Wisconsin, set to go up against Gardner Stone. 208 feet 8 inches the distance to take the top honors here at the Great Plains Grand National Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit event. The Irish Challenger, David Walsh, set to go. 208 feet 8 inches. He's got a good line. No, I tell you, it's not going to be quite enough, but Gardner Stone will be the winner. Well, Gardner Stone, you picked up another victory here in the 9,200-pound modified class, but you had a close challenge. Let's talk a little bit about this rig that you've got here, the General Stage 4. Tell us a little bit about the mechanics of that tractor.
It's powered by 4 T55 Lycoming turbines. They put out approximately 3,000 horsepower apiece. We go directly into a gearbox. Each motor has a separate drive shaft into this gearbox. We're turning this gearbox 16,000 RPMs. It's all pressure lube. There's no transmission. There's a reverser box after the gearbox, and then the rear end is a truck rear end, and we're turning that 16,000 also. That's the same rear end that you'll see going up and down the road every day in a semi.
It's amazing, and I would imagine it takes a little bit of concentration to keep that in a straight line.
Yes, it does. Especially we ran the extreme sideline up through here, and we really had to concentrate to keep this thing in balance. Plus, I couldn't see where I was going halfway down the track. The dirt was flying.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Gardner Stone, the General Stage 4, wraps up the 9,200 modified class. It's been quite a day here with our modified pullers, 11 of them going, and Gardner Stone's General tops them all. I'm Doc Riley for Power Pack Motorsports. We'll see you again real soon.